Hi, this is Joni again. I want to go over a few things today. The first thing I'm going to do is explain this. My daughter has a puppy. He's a German Shepherd puppy. He's about 4 months old, and he was really excited to see me and jumped up, and one of his teeth accidentally caught me. And this is more here to keep me from rubbing it than anything, because I have rubbed it and it hurts when I do. So today I'm going to go over some things that is coming directly from the book that my physician gave me and that he and his team created for patients. And I'm specifically going to go over rules to live by for gastric bypass and a little bit of other information. So here I'm going to just jump right into it. Rules to live by for gastric bypass. Eat 3 to 6 times per day. This will help you prevent overfilling your pouch, provide adequate nutrition through the entire day, and prevent low blood sugar. You need to follow portion control guidelines. Consider using smaller plates and utensils for meals, smaller eating utensils, spoons and forks, like baby spoons and forks, help you take smaller bites. Behavioral modifications such as laying down your fork or eating utensil between bites of food may also be helpful. I've done these things. I do find it helpful. Even before I had my surgery, I made it a point to buy some little 4-ounce containers. I still can't really eat 4 ounces of most things unless it's pudding or Jello or something of the like. I can certainly drink 4 ounces of fluid with no problem, but it's just the denser foods I have more trouble doing 4 ounces of. Stop eating as soon as you feel full. Eating too fast or eating too much or both can cause nausea and vomiting. I promise you, I can tell you that this is absolutely true. And when you're like, I might feel full, but I'd like to just have one more bite, please do not have that bite. That bite is the one too many. And like 2 minutes after you have that bite, you're going to be miserable that you had that bite. Stop when you feel it, I don't know if I'm full. I think I might be. When you're there, you're there. Trust me. And you may learn the hard way if you do it too many times or even once. I mean, legit, it's the stuff. For some reason, after you swallow it immediately, it doesn't hit for like a minute or two, that feeling, to me. But I just want you to know, it is, trust your body. When you're like, maybe I'm full, you're full. Eat slowly. A typical meal should take you anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes to eat. This is no joke. I've done it both ways. I have also thrown up from eating too fast. I think this is a guideline that is almost ridiculous, but I go by at home. If I'm starting out with hot food and I have to microwave it once or twice during my meal, I know I'm doing a good job, because my food gets too cold too fast for me. Also, like my ceiling fan's on right now. You want to avoid having a fan or anything on where your food is, because your food, you're going to find, gets too cold too quick. And that's kind of a pain in the butt. But it is a thing. It says, do not drink fluids with your meals. Drink your fluids 30 minutes to 1 hour before or after a meal is consumed. Well, I'm going to tell you, I have done this both ways. I have had food. I don't know why this is looking so blurry to me, but it is. I apologize if the quality of this video is crap. I have drank before a meal and I have drank after a meal. And first of all, the reason that they don't want you to do this is because your food is supposed to be basically chewed so many times that it's almost applesauce consistency. And if you take a funnel and you have applesauce and you pour it in it, it's going to leak down through slowly, which is how they want your food to leave your pouch slowly. But if you pour water or another liquid on top of it, it's going to go through much faster. Therefore, your body's not going to get as much nutrient from it. So that's not a good thing. Secondly, I'll tell you, if you try to drink first, then you're going to be kind of too full to eat. And if you try to drink right after, oh, excuse me, there's my signature yawn. I seriously don't know why I do that every single video at least once. What I was saying was, if you drink after, a lot of times it will hit your stomach just wrong, and especially if you're already feeling a little yucky on your stomach, and can lead to vomiting. Plus it can lead to, like I said, your food going through faster than it should, so you're not getting the nutrients that you should. So if you think you're getting your nutrients in because you did great and you ate like 3 or 4 ounces of chicken and you got that protein from that chicken, you may not be getting as much as you think if you're drinking with it. So avoid drinking at all costs. Now I can tell you that I have had different things, especially in the beginning, that I just couldn't stand, that I still had taste or texture in my mouth. And I literally had to swish and spit to get it out. And that's better than drinking, because that way you get the nutrients from your food. That being said, I'm going to go back to our handy dandy list. Meet your fluid goals daily by consuming 6 to 8 cups of sugar-free, non-carbonated, caffeine-free, non-caloric beverages between meal. Okay, well, obviously sugar-free because it will make you dump. No carbonation because it will fill up your stomach with gas, and that's not a good thing. And trust me, your body's not going to handle gas the same way it did before. It'll be very uncomfortable and miserable. No caffeine because it irritates the lining of the stomach. And obviously no calories or low calories because you're trying to lose weight. I mean, that should be a no-brainer. Now here's something important. Avoid alcohol, which can damage the liver and provide empty, excessive calories. Now, not only can it do those things, you're trying to lose weight and get healthy. A lot of us have food addictions. There's something called transfer addiction. I think I may have spoke of this before. But basically what happens is you transfer one addiction, a food addiction, to an alcohol addiction, which you don't think will happen to you. But trust me, it can and does happen. It's happened to family members of mine, and lots of people. You can look up the research. It's there. So avoid all alcohol. Plus, you need to know that a little bit will get you drunk very fast. And so you can't, even if you try, you can't do the same amount you did before. You can really damage your body and get sick. We, as people who are obese, already will have a fatty liver and liver problems. Do not add to it. You can have cirrhosis of the liver from just being fat. So you don't need to add to it alcohol. And there's my soapbox for the day. Avoid all foods and fluids that contain sugar in order to prevent dumping syndrome. We went over that in my last video in great detail. So if you didn't watch my last video and it was titled like the most important information, you need to watch that. It's about 30 or so minutes long, but it really does contain crucial information for gastric bypass patients. And also, I'm certain, information that will be helpful to vertical gastric sleeve patients just as well. Um, Take your vitamin and mineral supplements daily and treat them as new medication. Like a lot of people will say, I forget to take my vitamins and everything. You need to get one of those little pill boxes that have the different times a day and put your vitamins in there and take them. It is very important. Your body cannot run without the stuff it needs, and these are the things it needs. It isn't something to just do for the first month, few months or 6 months after you have surgery. This is a lifelong deal. Your body cannot function without being properly nourished, and part of that is taking your vitamins that your body will no longer get from the foods it was getting before. So take your vitamins. Protein must be the focus of all meals and snacks. Always meet your daily protein needs, which are 60 to 75 grams a day. 60 is the minimum for women, 75 is the minimum for men. Be sure to eat or drink protein first before you fill up on other foods. Now, the exception to this is at the beginning of your post-op period gastric bypass, or probably vertical gastric sleeve, if you're not able to get those things in for the first, say, week, just make sure you're getting fluids in. That's the most important. But making sure that you're taking in the proper amount of protein will keep your weight loss on track because your body won't think it's starving. I got sick and my lab work showed my body literally thought it was starving. And as a nurse, I understand this. I just had lab work done last week at the doctor's, and it came in, and I can see it based on this thing that the doctor's office has. And I was really excited because my body no longer no longer thinks it's starving, and I'm getting in my protein well. I'm not eating as much as I had been. I think that the ulcer that I have is just giving me a lot of problems. So I've been drinking a lot of muscle milk. This is the Pro Series. It's got 32 grams of carbs. I prefer the vanilla. It's intense vanilla. I prefer them cold. And I drink 2 of these a day, and that's how I get my protein in. I'm going to answer this phone. Hello. That was my mother. We're fixing to go to the store shortly, where I will pick up more muscle milk. Make sure that when you do get muscle milk, you get the kind that says the limited amount of sugar, because they do have other muscle milks that's plain muscle milk that unfortunately has a lot of calories and a lot of sugars in it as well. So make sure you get this kind. This is the best kind for your body as far as this. It doesn't have to be the Pro Series. They also make what I consider a pretty good strawberry. I finally got my taste back for it, and I enjoy it now. There are other brands, Premier Protein or Pure Protein, I'm not sure which. But the important thing is get in what you can a day. If you can't tolerate the sweetness of the shakes anymore, I personally suggest Unjury, which you have to order. It's Unjury, and they have even a chicken broth type soup that is vegan friendly. It's not made with any actual chicken parts. It's just a seasoning. It's reasonably chicken flavored, and you heat it to not more than 140 degrees and then stir it up in there, and it gives you 20 or more grams of protein in it. Can't remember the exact thing, but that's something to get away from the sweet. Let's see. Chew foods thoroughly. Chew each bite of food 20 times before swallowing. Sometimes you need to chew more than 20 times, but do at least 20 times. Try to get what they call the mush in your mouth, or, to where it's practically nothing and it's like almost swallowing itself. That's what you need. Do not use straws with any liquids. The reason for this is because there's a little bit of air that will go in when you try to drink through a straw, and that little bit of air adds up when you only have a little tiny stomach. Do not chew gum. If you accidentally swallow gum after having gastric bypass, that can require you to have emergency surgery, because it will block up your stoma and they will have to do emergency surgery. Save yourself the bill. Don't chew the gum. Exercise each day as directed by your surgeon. Once you are cleared for exercise, try to incorporate 30 to 60 minutes of activity each day. I'm still working on this, but I know it's something that I need to do. And lastly, as you progress through the diet phases, please add new foods slowly. Many times, foods will not be tolerated when first added back into your diet. So, don't decide that you want to add all new foods for your whole meal, or even necessarily in the same day. Try to stick with some foods that you've already tried. And if you start having problems with foods that you've already tried, then there may be a problem. Also, I just wanted to say, I just forgot. My son came home and I just forgot. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Sometimes you may not tolerate the leftovers the same way as you did when it was fresh food. And my husband and I discussed this, and I think it's because the moisture content is different. So that may be a problem or the reason. But anyway, those are my tips for today. And those are the rules to live by from my physician. And I just wanted to share them with you. Hope everyone's doing great and having a great journey wherever you are in it, that you are successful and feeling well. Thank you. Bye-bye.